Oh, yeah, fucking hell. It's been a while, eh? Been a while since last pod.
Oh, I'll introduce us and then we'll catch up, will we?
Oh, Christ.
Welcome to the Wong Decision. This is a podcast where two Northern boys talk about beloved character Northern boy. Oh, character actor Northern boy.
Character Northern Boy.
Benedict Wong.
I feel like that could be on his IMDb list as like an early role.
Character Northern boy.
Yeah, because, you know, we were reading through it last episode and
and
says,
it's just like Chinese man
or,
Jinx.
you know, fucking, what was it? What was one of them? Like police officer or something.
Yeah, police officer 2.
Character Northern Boy.
Character Northern boy. I am one of your two hosts, Sketch Benjamin. I'm a freelance filmmaker, and I'm joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host, Alex Dop,
Hello.
who I would describe as a piece of shit.
Professional.
As a freelance composer-producer.
Yeah, PPS, a professional piece of shit.
Yeah. Alex Dop, how are you?
Oh, shit.
Feel good after that? Was that a nice way to be introduced?
Yeah, it was as flattering as it was mealy-mouthed.
What?
So, Gemini Man,
Yeah.
Anglese Gemini
Geninainam by Ang Lee's.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about Ang Lee, who's the director, is he's very angly. He, you know, where a normal person might have 3 or 4 angles from top to bottom, he's got like 9.
He's got bear.
He does that thing, you know, where you walk like an Egyptian. That's just his normal walk.
Right. Well, do we know where we've seen Ang Lee films before? Because he's a legendary film director.
He's a kung fu guy, right? Is that him?
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Right. Awesome.
Like, the fucking...
From that to this.
Well, not quite. We've gone
like not in one go, but
we've gone like a strange route, but a very, very interesting route. So he's produced loads of films as well, but directorial.
I don't care. Give me directorial.
Yeah, I mean we've got a load of stuff from the 80s, The Runner, Beat the Artist, and stuff that you may not quite have heard of, and then we get to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in 2000, which is his biggest, definitely his biggest film.
So give me the.
So from there,
yeah.
So, like I said, we got a lot of martial arts films and stuff. We then go to Hulk in 2003.
The one with Eric Banner.
The one
playing Bruce Banner.
Eric Banner.
Wow. Okay.
Then
that feels like more tonally similar to this, so I can kind of imagine that.
I'm gonna cherry pick these films because
he's
obviously done a lot of films, so I'm gonna pick the relevant ones that I think that highlight just how mad this journey
we
is.
just need 3 or 4.
So Hulk,
yeah,
amazing. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Brokeback Mountain.
Really? He directed?
Yeah, did not know that. I could have named 1,000 films, and then 1,001 I'd have been like, fucking, I don't know, Brokeback Mountain, and you'd be like, yeah.
Whoa.
Then there's a few others, but then we hit Life of Pi. Did you ever watch that?
Right. No, I have not seen that actually.
The tiger on the boat.
Yeah.
Fucking mad film. I haven't seen it in years. Then we have a big gap. There's something called Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, which is a kind of, I guess it's a war film, like an Iraq war film.
Okay.
But then we hit Gemini Man in 2019. So there's a decent gap there, really. We got Life of Pi in 2012, the Billy Lynn film in 2016, and then Gemini Man in 2019. Now,
yes.
The biggest through line, maybe excluding Brokeback Mountain, is that he likes to try new and innovative things.
That's kind of sick, isn't it?
Whether that's action-based or tech-based. Crouching Tiger was revolutionary for that.
For the wires and stuff?
Yeah, for the martial arts and the way that was done and the choreography. Hulk, I do remember that being some CGI leap forward with Hulk. Okay,
was it like early mocap or something for his face to be the guy?
And the transition was, him turning into Hulk there was a big deal about that.
Okay, that's cool.
Like I say, Brokeback Mountain's probably a bit of a different one. But then Life of Pi, having this kid stranded on a boat with this tiger.
Yeah, right. Very visually. But then Brokeback Mountain was quite striking plot-wise, right?
Yeah, I
you
guess
could say it's quite an adventurous story to tell.
Obviously, there are writers involved in all of these as well. He doesn't write his own things.
No, but when you're directing, you're really taking something.
Yeah, you're taking a vision
by the helm.
You're putting your vision into someone else's.
I was thinking this the other day. Sorry if this is a bit of an aside, but
no, you're fine.
People aren't allowed to aside on podcasts, right? We need to be on track. It must be mad how in the real world there must be proper Hollywood films that get directed by people who aren't really that into it, but it's like, I've landed this gig.
It's a job.
It's a job. Like, maybe when I went in, I thought it was going to be something, and then it's pushed slowly into this other thing. And it's like, I'm just going to finish it how the studio want it. It's not really what I wanted to make.
Yeah.
And that might be somebody's favourite film still, potentially.
Well, to reference David Lynch, who you mentioned in previous episodes, I mean, that's what he did with Dune. He just wanted to make his own version of Dune, and then it ended up being a studio thing, and he was just like, oh, whatever, I'll just finish it.
Right. And do people like that film? Was it regarded well?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, it became
maybe...
a bit of a joke. But there will be someone out there who loves that Dune.
Yeah,
definitely. Okay. It just tends to be that what you've said for a lot of that stuff tends to be, I guess, known for studio meddling and being problematic. Right. But there will be people who have this like their favourite film, of course.
But then, what about, there's probably a middle ground, isn't there? I was just thinking to myself recently, creatively, I'm on a bit of a thing where I'm swapping tact, and it's like, not every single thing that I do needs to be for me. I guess like Guillermo del Toro, right? Like one for them, one for me.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'm just doing the thing that you want, that you've like paid me to make for you. Well, yeah,
because then the thing that you want is the money.
I guess so. Maybe that's what I'm wrestling with.
In that particular instant.
Yeah. Or it's like, it's the money, and it's also like, I'll like this and tell this story as best as I can and whatever, but if I were in charge, then we would do these 12 things differently, and it'd be interesting if this was more like this, but it's like, but it's not mine. This one's for you.
Yeah, but if they weren't paying you, you wouldn't do that, really.
Yeah, if they weren't paying me, I probably wouldn't do the project.
Yeah, I've got like artists that I work with that I would go and give them a real, true opinion on what it is they're making music-wise, because I think it benefits the art and therefore benefits them. And then I have other ones where if they want it, I'll just do it.
Right.
If they want it and I think it's not going to make a difference or it's actively bad, I might go, are you sure? I'm just thinking of this. And then if they go, no, I want that, I'll go, all right, fine.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think this has been a really recent thought for me. When I say that's okay, I say it like it's so casual. What I mean is more like I'm recently coming to the idea that that's okay.
Yeah.
And furthermore, that unsubstantiated, that's probably also the case even at a really high level.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Maybe making Hulk, he was like, oh, actually this wasn't the film that I wanted to make, but it's like, they're paying me, and I get to, it'll help me to get the next thing that might be something more interesting to me and more creatively fulfilling for what I want to do. And
I get the impression that he then brings something to that to get more out of it as well. So
what do you mean? Like
he's learning something about CGI, or he's trying a new technique or whatever. He seems like that kind of guy.
Yes,
Angly.
And that's a thing. Does that apply to you when you're with the person who you're like, okay, we can do that? Are you sure? All right. Do you feel like you sometimes get something out of that you might be able to?
Yeah, maybe like it could be like, okay, well I've never done that, so I'll try that, and then that's gives me a bit of practice to do that, even though I don't want to do it.
Right.
Sometimes, not always. Sometimes I will just do it and just go whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
But I've definitely had it where it's like, these decisions is not ones that I would make, but of course we're collaborating as well, and like, let's try it, and you do it, and it's like, wow, that was so much better. Like there was one video shoot that I have particularly in mind, who of course I won't name, but I was a little bit dreading it. I was like, I wish that I'd have just said no to this job. I don't want to do it, whatever. And I went in with the attitude of like, I will give you, this isn't for me at all. I'm just going to execute, and I'll be friendly and as helpful, and we'll do the best that we can do.
Yeah.
I went home, I edited that video the same day. It was like the quickest edit that I've ever done.
Right.
And I looked at it afterwards and I was like, that's one of the best things I've ever made.
Oh, really?
I was like, fuck, maybe my caring and my involvement is not necessarily helpful to the overall...
Yeah, and it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, I think with Gemini Man, I think Ang Lee has... From what I know about the lore around it and stuff, this was a passion project as well for him.
Cool.
But let's be honest, no disrespect to the writers, but it definitely became the thing that was like, Ang Lee is trying 60 FPS, and spoiler alert, but we will be spoiling the film from the get-go, a de-aged 2 Will Smiths. Right. So one normal Will Smith, one de-aged Will Smith, and it really did feel like, and the rhetoric around the film was, Ang Lee's trying this new thing. Right.
Is this pre or post Logan? Because Logan, I'm just now realising, had the exact same thing of there being 2 Hugh Jackmans. One was younger, one was older.
Logan,
I think that I think that might have been like 2017.
Well done, yeah, 2017.
So that makes this slightly less revolutionary, but maybe the way in which they did it was different.
Well, there was a big spate of this around this time. Like there was The Irishman in 2019 as well.
I wanted to mention The Irishman. Have you seen The Irishman?
Yeah.
What did you think about the way, like, the whole, there's a 70-year-old playing a 30-year-old?
Terrible.
It's weird, isn't it?
Terrible. I mean, I said this in Gemini Man about the voice. I think they did an okay job at making young Will Smith sound young.
I agree.
Not all the time, but mostly. And his movements, because he was pretty much just CGI, let's be honest. It was all just fucking
or he was
video
presumably
game.
largely played by one person and then face replaced, right?
Yeah, but all the heavy action movements looked like a video game, which could be mocap, I guess, but it didn't feel real at any point.
No, proper was like PS5 cutscene vibes.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas like early Matrix fights as well.
Yeah.
But the thing with the Irishman was that whenever De Niro moved, he looked like a 70-year-old man moving, and whenever he spoke, he sounded like a 70-year-old man speaking, but just with this odd
waxy CGI younger face, and he's like closing the boot, being all menacing, and he's like, I just need a new hip.
Yeah, it was strange. That definitely wasn't the case here.
Isn't that interesting how the skin on the face is only one of many pieces that tell us the age of a person?
Yeah, eyes and stuff is so important for that as well.
Oh, true, but as in, like, even in a full mask, you can tell how old a person is. Like, 5-year-olds have got a flexibility that I can't dream of.
Yeah, totally. I think they ramped up the difficulty level here. We said that whilst we were watching the film.
Yeah.
There was a difficulty level of the 60 FPS, which made the whole thing look really weird.
Yeah.
Which means we sort of felt
weird.
We thought maybe there's a certain amount of post-production that couldn't be done on it because the 60 FPS might have made life hard.
This was my theory, because it also, the color grading is weird as hell.
I thought it was horrendous.
It's so, like, overexposed and under-vibed.
Everything was so travel advert looking.
Yeah. Or like, those things where people walk through a city with a gimbal. And it's like Tokyo at night walking. It 100%. Felt like that.
Yeah, totally. Then the other difficulty is obviously having two Will Smiths.
Yep.
Then the difficulty of having one of them younger.
Yep.
And then they started doing stuff like night vision goggles and the motorbike chases, and like we're really ramping up the difficulty of what we're trying to achieve here. Which meant that I felt like the storyline and the bit of the film that you would actually latch onto and give a shit about, other than a technical exercise, because a technical exercise, let's be honest, you just want in like a 5-minute demo, like the fucking Unreal Engine demo. That
like, or like the trailer, like the preview scene that they released for this.
Yeah.
So, oh great, you've done the thing.
But to sustain a 1 hour 57 movie.
Yeah.
We need more.
And it was weirdly, for a film that is so, two Will Smiths. I mean, I've seen action films with one Will Smith and it's been a lot of action. This had so much talking and exposition and dialogue and those scenes, and I feel like I'm being a dickhead, but they felt weirdly like under-baked.
Yeah.
Like they're having dialogue scenes and it's just two people sat still, never walking, never moving. Yeah. And, one of them's got like a bit of a cabinet behind them, or they're like right against a corner, and it's like, they're not beautiful cinematic images. It's just like...
Do you think it's like we're doing so much when we're doing the other stuff that we're just going to sit down for a minute and stop moving?
Maybe. It genuinely, like, it sort of feels like all their attention might have been elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like I heard with Mad Max Fury Road, that George Miller, the director, doesn't direct the actors. And there was this thing where someone was like, you're not going to direct us. And he's like, if I start directing you, then people will die. You do your fucking job and I'll do mine.
What a guy.
And he's got like people on motorbikes like suspended in the air flying around and stuff.
I think it is so mad that films like Mad Max Fury Road exist and look like that. And then films like this exist and look like that.
It felt, I know I was saying this while we were watching it, but it felt like a corporate, like B2B video, like a training video.
Yeah.
Or like when a dentist's firm or a law firm has like we've been satisfying customers for over 15 years now.
Yeah.
It felt like a really high-end, independent, like corporate video where they'd have like a crew of 3 people would come around. They'd have, 2 cameras and a slider, and it'd be like, wow, for what this is so high-end. But this was like what was the budget on this? $100 million Hollywood movie, and it felt so tacky and low. It was weird.
It was, I'll tell you how much it was.
Mr. IMDb.
As the IMDb guy, it was $138 million budget. Estimated, obviously.
So that's like half the budget of the latest James Bond film. And this had nowhere near half as much juice.
Worldwide, it grossed $173 million, so didn't make much.
Right.
Well, it did. I mean, I wouldn't mind
but still, it
$40
might,
million or whatever.
like we were saying last time, it might not have washed its face when you take into account the marketing budget.
Exactly, yeah. There were certain places that they went to as well that was just like, you didn't need to go there. They're like going to Budapest. Why?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe they got a tax break. I don't know.
But maybe that was one of the few things that did work about it, was at least we were in these countries.
Yeah, true. Should we get to Benny?
We should absolutely get to Benny. Yes, thank you.
He plays the Baron, or I don't know if it's the Baron or just Baron.
I think maybe it's Baron, like that's his actual name. He is, for anybody that has played or seen Uncharted, he's Sully in Uncharted.
Right, yeah.
He comes in as the friendly, hey kid, you're still in the game, huh? I've been many years out, but he flies planes and gets them from A to B.
Turns up on a boat like a water boat, with the big things that makes it land on water.
A seaplane.
Yeah, that really feels like
a
something.
Water boat?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're called. The sea. I mean, there's not a million. A water boat? Yeah,
most boats. Yeah, anyway, I don't mean to be a dick.
A water plane is what I meant.
Yeah.
But even that feels a bit Indiana Jones, Uncharted.
Yes.
Like throwback to that era. And to be fair, his entrance was great because we're kind of watching this film, forgetting why we're watching this film.
Yeah,
and then,
genuinely, he'd come in and I was like, oh, of course, that's what we're doing here.
It's Bendos.
Yeah.
Yay. And he comes in and does his avuncular, light-hearted, yet a certain level of gravitas thing again.
Yeah. And it's good.
It is good.
He's just always... He elevates the stuff that he's in.
And he makes you feel at home and comfortable in the right hands, especially in this weird film. It looks so strange. It looks almost too realistic, yet you have Will Smith, who's like superstar movie star at this point. And you're like, he looks kind of too real.
It's weird, isn't it? You kept saying that you could feel them start the camera movements.
Yeah.
You can almost hear like the person on the megaphone like, and go.
They literally just were like they cut off just someone going at the start with a clacker bullet.
Yeah, but only just.
Only just, yeah.
And my theory is the fact that you can feel that in 60 frames a second you know what, I said this earlier, I feel too weird now. I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay, go on.
But I said this while we were watching. This is the perils of watching together. But if you can feel all those things in 60 frames a second, then in 24 frames a second, does the people behind the camera just hide in between those frames? That was my theory.
I think to keep it on Benny D. I want to call him Benny D because of the D of W.
Oh, Benny D,
but it's
as
not,
in Benedict Wong. Or it could even just be as in Benedict, Benny D.
Benny D. To keep it on Benny D, I think there's not much to say about him because that sort of shit that you're talking about is so distracting.
I couldn't follow basic plot points in this film.
Yeah.
I was just fascinated by the visuals.
And like, it's hard to I think maybe that, I don't know if that works to the film's benefit or not, that you're kind of like, what's happening now? Because I'm just so distracted all the time.
Yeah.
And even if you're not distracted by what's happening on screen, just the general way it looks makes your brain tick over and think of stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, hang on, sorry, I missed that bit of dialogue. What was that?
Yeah.
And like, there was a moment when just before, as Benedict was arriving on his water boat,
yeah,
where we saw like it looked like a shark's fin or like a barracuda's fin or something in the water. And then I was like, Ben, we got to go back.
Yeah.
I need to see. And then it was there.
And there was definitely like a shark's fin just in the water.
And I sort of thought like, oh, maybe there's going to be like a boat fight thing and they're going to fall in the water and, oh, there's sharks in the water. But it just never came back.
No.
So then I found myself for like 5 minutes after that, watching the film, listening to the dialogue, just thinking about like, was that added? Or did they just capture that by accident? And then they thought, whoa, mad, we just caught that by accident. We should put that in the film. Or
it's weird, isn't it?
What?
You'd expect a bit like, whose rifle is it? Chekhov's rifle.
Yeah.
The logic in screenwriting that if you put a gun on the wall, then somebody better fire it.
Yeah.
It's like if that shark was really there in the footage, why didn't they paint it out?
Yeah.
Or if they did paint it in, why?
Why?
Is it just for vibes, tropical island, like interesting exotic location?
And there were so many, I can't even think of them all now, but there were so many little moments like that just distracted me.
Right.
Like, we kept picking up on them drinking cocktails and stuff, where I was just like, he's not drinking that.
Yeah, that's a thing in films, isn't it? When like characters that are super buff and super slim will just be like just walking around eating hot dogs and stuff, and it's like, fuck off.
Yeah, and also just in this moment, he's just bloodied from a big fight. And then he's sat there drinking like pina colada with a bit of fruit on the end.
Yeah.
No,
and
he's not.
It's weird as well because
Although if you had just had a big fight, you might be like, oh, I really fucking want a pina colada right now.
I can imagine that. Something icy to sort of calm your nerves. It's not even only looking at their incredible physiques that makes it weird. It's also that we never see these characters actually drink any of these drinks. And if we did, it would feel really out of character.
Yeah.
But they're just always there set dressing wise, these like weird sugary milky cocktails.
And because of the way this is all set up in this kind of like weird sci-fi concept of the clone and whatever, you kind of don't look at they've not set them up to be like, these are humans who need food and water and sustenance to survive. Because like they're just basically superhuman video game characters knocking about.
Yeah.
He just had a fight and his arm's all fucked up and he's getting stitches put in or whatever, but in the next fight he's like at full strength again.
Yeah.
Whereas really, you go for a long run and the next day you're like, oh god, I'm a bit creaky.
Got you.
So,
and he's meant to be old compared to his younger self, but they don't mention that even at all.
So put these things in and have it be realistic and show him chomping on a burger because he's fucking starving because he's not eating for ages and he's like, oh, I just want to eat whatever. Or don't put it in at all.
Have you ever seen that in an action film?
Yeah, I think so, but probably something a bit more gritty than this.
I really like that as an idea. Like, somebody after a big fight is then really hungry because they've exerted themselves so much.
Well, you see it with, like, I'm pretty sure Indiana Jones have done it before in the past as well.
That's cool.
Where, like, he just needs to drink water.
Right, that feels very
and you're
character.
Like, I get it. Because, so if you're going to do it, make it a thing. Don't be like, oh, I guess there would be a drink on the side.
Yeah.
Well, then we need something there, put a drink there. No, don't put a drink there, put a plant there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Because now I'm just looking at a drink being
put like a map and a gun there, like that's in the world of these characters doing stuff.
Yeah.
That is quite weird, actually, isn't it?
But there's not much to say about Benedict.
No, I think much like in pretty much everything that we see him in, but maybe that's overly reductive, much like in 9 Days, he's just lovely and in there and friendly, and actually he has a lot less to do than in 9 Days. He has a lot less to do than in 9 Days.
Yeah. I'd say the biggest points, like, we've talked about how he looks a lot in the past, and in this he just looks like him in that time period. In Sunshine he just sort of looked like him in that time period. There wasn't anything that was really doing, in 15 Stories High he just maybe cut his hair but just looked like a bloke or whatever. So there's nothing really to pick up on other than they put him in a terrible vest in this.
Yeah.
And that vest was awful.
Cargo vest, would you call it? With loads of, like, utility pockets.
Yeah, but the front of it was leather and the back of it was, like, another material.
Was it? The back and front
were
denim,
different, maybe, or something.
This was on top of a kind of short but wide-sleeved Henley neck T-shirt, which was quite a Nathan Drake-y, Indiana Jonesy kind of a thing.
Yeah, it was as if they were trying to do something Indiana Jonesy.
But then with, like, I mean, my dad would wear something like this. It's like a sleeveless leather utility jacket that looks like you can have your gaffer tape there.
Yeah,
you've got your checkbook in there.
Oh, bad look. It was a bad look. Whoever did the costume department, it didn't do anything. It didn't make him look approachable and homely, nor did it make him look like he was good at what he does, nor did it make him look hard.
I think it made him look like he was the pilot guy. He looked like he might have a spanner in there and he's ready to do some fixing.
Yeah, see, I didn't actually feel like there was anything in those pockets at any point.
No, neither did I, but it suggested that he was a person who might put something in the pocket.
Yeah, I think that's the most generous way you can put that costume. It suggested.
I honestly buy it. He looks like a pilot, like a private pilot guy to me.
See, for me, I get that that's what they were going for. It really didn't do that for me.
That's very fair.
But fair enough. It speaks to the fact that they did sort of do their job. If they said that to you, to me, they didn't do it enough.
Yeah,
they should have done that more, or not done it at all. It sort of felt like they went like, "What's left in the costume?"
Yeah, okay. Oh shit, wasn't he supposed to be a pilot?
What's this?
Well, Will Smith's character didn't end up using this in that scene, so he could just have that. I just realised, like, he gets a spectacular death in this, and people mourn him, which is cool.
Yeah.
That then made me realise that and this is now me kind of celebrating our final, of the 10.
Yeah.
He's died in a lot of the things that we've seen him in.
Yeah, and I suppose that is problematic in and of itself. There is an issue with, killing off the people of culture, the people from different cultures, rather.
That's interesting.
Especially Asian people.
Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing that because, although to be fair, we've picked a fairly random 10, so that might be biased, but...
Well, I think the randomness of it is...
Oh, it makes it fair again.
More fair, yeah, that's why. We did
he has taken his own life in at least 2 of the things that we've seen.
Yep.
In the short film where he was in the
shop.
In the shop. What was that called?
That was called something.
Short film in the shop.
Yeah.
And then in the Sunshine sci-fi film,
Yep.
it takes its own light. Or that one was ambiguous, but he was died either way. He gets blown up massively by a rocket launcher in this one.
He does. We didn't watch much of Marco Polo.
That's true. And maybe he gets blown up with a rocket launcher in 15 Stories High at some point. Who can say?
Well, we know that Kublai Khan, isn't alive now, so he will die at some point.
He will die at some point.
Well, how much more Gemini Man do we want to talk about? Because I have a little side thing.
I've got one thing. I'll just throw it at you and then allow you.
I've got one more Gemini Man related thing and then another Benedict Wong related thing.
All right. Well, I'm taking the mantle.
Okay.
This film looked so digital, and now if we get rid of the 60 frames a secondness and we just imagine a still from this film, it was so crisp and digital, and it made me really celebrate and appreciate the fact that nowadays, and I think probably since 2019 is probably about when we've started seeing this elevate, when people shoot on digital, they emulate film in some ways, some less so, some more so, but it's very, very common now that a digital film will have just a few little hints of it having been shot on film. Like the highlights won't be so fucking crisp, but they'll have a bit of this halation that you get with film stock. And it, I'm so biased because this is like my whole thing, but it just looks and feels so nice, and I really appreciated that going back 6 years, that wasn't happening, at least in this film, and I really miss it. I'm like, oh, it looks so clinical, and I just want a bit of that character.
I think we learned that back in the early 2000s with digital, and it wasn't really quite what was going to work for the movie industry. And I think Ang Lee is maybe just rebelling against that and trying to bring it back and go, well, this is the future, this is the next, look at what's possible, but it's still not right.
Yeah,
it's
that's
still
fair.
not right, especially for movies. Like movies are art, and that's a tool that we use to create art, and at the minute it makes it feel clinical and not like art, I think. Which is something which is connected to my Gemini Man point, which is this whole narrative around AI at the minute, and like who's going to give a shit about some music or film that's created by AI. And people go, well, you don't know, like, people said that about drum machines and now everyone loves drum machines, and you're like, yeah, okay, maybe
that's actually a really good argument,
maybe. But when I watch CGI characters punching other CGI characters and doing shit, I am so cold and bored to it.
Especially when they're talking and it's all real people, and then they start punching and it's CGI.
Yeah, like, when you watch something and it's a proper fight, like choreographed like a John Wick film, right? Or like choreographed like...
Or like, have you seen Old Boy?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like Daredevil Season 1.
Or even just something that's not even necessarily a fight, but something that's choreographed to look really fucking real, like someone's head being just smacked against the wall, or the nail being ripped off in a horror film, or something like that. It's like, whoa, man, you really feel it. And then as soon as it becomes just CGI person hitting, you just like... And you don't look at them run up the wall, do a backflip, put their legs around the head, twist the neck, and go, whoa, sick. Because you just know. But your consciousness, you just like, meh.
It's like, oh, okay.
But if you watch that happen in Crouching Tiger with the choreography, you'd be like, that was fucking amazing.
It's weird, isn't it? So, and even though you can tell that they're using wires to, like, the gravity doesn't make sense, you see the people do the thing, and it's like, oh, it's
that's
cool.
What's impressive. And it's not a conscious thought for me to be like, I am not impressed because this is CGI. I'm not impressed. And then I sit there, and because we're doing this sort of thing, I sit and analyze and go, why am I not something? And then I can come up with it. But generally sat there, I'm not sitting there going, well, it's not human, so I'm not. So I just wonder whether that's going to be something that we're going to feel with AI and the way that all
That's interesting, isn't it?
plays out.
I heard a really interesting point the other day from some VFX artists that now suddenly they're not the bad guy anymore. Now CGI is handcrafted and AI is the enemy, and they're like, we're not the bad guys. Yeah,
totally. I know. And then, but it's gotten so much better as well that probably there will be a point with CGI characters hitting CGI characters where I'm like, whoa, that's sick, and they're like, that's CGI. I'm like, oh.
Or that may have already happened. Like, if it's done when it's done well, we don't notice it, right? It's just blended in beautifully. A bit like Jurassic Park, how they would have CGI elephants. What are they called? The ones with
giraffes.
the feathers. Yeah, and then. But a real prosthetic leg that the character would then go and touch, and it makes it all feel so much more gelled, as opposed to then touching close up a CGI more thing.
Yeah, so it's about how you do it, isn't it?
Yeah. So what was your Ben Dubs thought?
So this is the last episode of this limited run. Now I'm doing this on the pod because one, you can either cut it out,
fine,
or two, I will be putting you under pressure right
now. Sure. I'm so excited right now. What?
You're not a huge horror fan, are you?
No.
But Benedict Wong recently was in a horror film, 2025, called Weapons.
Is he in Weapons?
And I did not know that before I went into the theatre for Weapons. I sat down to watch Weapons. The director that made it has made one of my favourite horror films in the last few years called Barbarian. I say favourite. One of the most
with Justin
memorable.
Long?
No, with the Skarsgård. Oh, is Justin Long in it? Yeah, he might be. The Skarsgård's in it.
It's Justin
Bill
anyway.
Skarsgård.
Barbarian.
Anyway,
I'll cross that bridge in my own life.
And Weapons has done very, very well at the box office and blah blah blah. I'm like excited to sit down and watch it, and I'm already excited to see this film. And then Benedict Wong shows up. I'm like, fuck, I did not know he was in this. Now, Weapons, I know you're not a horror fan. It does have its scary moments, but it is a great film.
Okay. I've heard other people say the same.
I propose bonus episode when we drop this and bonus episode tag on to the end a little bit later and you catch up with Weapons.
I'm so game.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds great.
And it's not just like this where he's like in it for a bit. Like he's a character. He gets shit to do and he does shit. And I was watching it being like, this is a fucking waste that this is not on the Wong Decision.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, I would love to.
All right.
Because there's a part of me, I think I like that things are bite-sized, manageable and completable. But then there's a part of me that's like, well, I don't want to end doing so a bonus.
I also think the bonus episode is not only great because it's just an extra little sweetener and it's just fun to do, but like I said, he gets a good stint, he has a good role, and he has a lot to do, and the film is great.
Okay.
Whereas Gemini
yeah.
is a fucking awful place to end this limited series.
But weirdly, being excited about watching Gemini together has been like a linchpin of this whole process for me.
It went exactly as I predicted it would. I was sitting there watching it and going, wow, that looks fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That looks so bad. Look at that.
It's weird, isn't it? We had to like stop saying it because it's like every scene, it's like, whoa, that looks bad.
Yeah.
So
none of them with Benedict, to be fair. He didn't really have much to do in the weird looking scenes. He used a lot of dialogue for him, wasn't it?
But everything looked weird. There was like 3 shots in the film that looked like a film, and it was like, wow. And then we're back to.
They all had Benedict Wong in them.
Yeah. So that might lead us nicely to for the final time in the run of 10. With the film Gemini Man, now I'm quite excited to actually hear what your thought is on this. Did Benedict Wong make the Wong decision by being in this film?
I think I can understand why he would want to be in this film. Legendary director Ang Lee.
Just quite angly, isn't he?
There's also a cultural thing going on there, which I think is very important. Probably was very important in Benedict Wong making that decision. But
what do you mean?
Because of the Chinese origin
of
Ang Lee and Benedict Wong.
Well, from China or not, the thing about him is much like Ridley Scott. Now, Ridley Scott is quite Ridley. Ang Lee is quite angly.
Well, he's Taiwanese.
Okay.
So not Chinese.
Good.
But, of Asian descent. And
they all look the same, don't they? So,
but like a British actor would want to work with maybe a legend like Wrigley Ridley because of cultural reasons as well as just that person just being good.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I understand why he made that decision, but I have to say he made an awful decision being in this film. Is this not the Wong decision?
I want to bring up. Have we had Wong decisions before? I know we've had a lot of Wong decisions.
No, we've had a Wong decision.
What was it? I can't remember.
It was Electric Dreams.
Yeah, okay. No, really? Did we say bad? Was that a Wong decision?
It was I think we gave him the benefit of the doubt because
benefit of the Wong.
We understood that we wanted to be in a Philip K. Dick thing.
Do you know what it was? We said yes to Electric Dreams.
Oh, okay.
But we said a wrong decision to Blade Runner short with Jared Leto.
With Jared Leto, no.
So this has been, what is that, 8 for 10. We've said Wong decision.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, 2, he's made the Wong decision.
I do think he has. I think I understand it. I respect it. I maybe wait for Ang Lee's next thing.
Yeah, it's fair. And in the meantime, your good selves at home, along with me, we can look forward to Benedict Wong's next thing. It's been an absolute pleasure doing this.
It has been.
This series of 10.
It has been, and it's such a pleasure that it would be a shame not to do an 11th.
I'm so game. So I guess we'll see you all next time for weapons.
Yeah.
On the Wong Decision.
God knows when that's going to be.
Boom, 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 boom. The Wong Decision. Boom, 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 boom. The Wong Decision. Boom, boom, boom for the final time. The Wong Decision. Until weapons.
Well.
Hell yeah.
Good luck editing that.